Hi everyone, welcome back to Resin Rainbows. I have decided today that I want to do a tray. These hearts are supposed to lock together. I had to purchase 4 of them. I hate to do one at a time. It's just a funny thing I have. I like to do all of them at the same time. When 4 of them hook together, they'll complete a whole tray. I figured we would do them in 4 different colors, but I want to do them in glitter. So I have some white glitter here called Crystal Diamond from Walmart, and then these 3 colors that I got from Joann Fabrics before they were going out of business. Just a pink, a pinkish purple, and a red. They don't have a color name. I have already gotten 20 ounces of resin mixed up. It is debubbling and I'm sure getting quite warm. So I have 4 cups here, and I am going to quickly pour this into my 4 cups and put about 5 ounces in each one. I believe that these hold about 4.5 ounces, but I do want to get this poured off and separated so that it does not flash cure. So I will pour that into our 4 cups here and set 3 of them off to the side so that we can quickly do them one at a time. And if we have a little extra left, it's fine. I've got some little extras that I can do with that. So I just want to make sure that we don't flash cure and that I don't spill it all. Because, you know, that's a possibility with me too. All right, we'll put this, should be 5 ounces here. This one is at 4. Once I get my spatula here and scrape it out, we should be good. I did use my little handheld mixer today because my husband has already gone to bed. This heat wave, he's a welder, he's gotten kind of overheated, so went to bed a little bit early tonight, and I wanted to get another project done for you guys, so that left me to use what I have. So, all right, there we go. Perfect. Oh yeah, there was more than an ounce in there once I scraped, so we are good. Clean that out later. Okay. All right. And some stir sticks here. And I think what I'll do is I will start with my lightest color and then go to my darkest color. Really need to raise my camera. I will try to get my camera raised before the next set of videos. So I'm just going to dump a bunch of the white glitter in here, and I will be getting the Elmer's clear glue. That is a Daniel Cooper hack. And then I just have this little $10 mixer that I got from Amazon. Nothing fancy, but it does the job. It comes with 2 different heads. In fact, I'm going to switch it out, I think, for the smaller head, but I needed the longer one when I was mixing everything earlier. Let's tap that off. Got a big old clump of glitter there. We definitely want to get mixed in. I like to take it and kind of try to scrape it down a little bit, especially when I'm using it to mix in glitter, because as you can see, it will clump. Put it off to the side. There we go. And since I have 5 ounces here, I'm going to use 5 drops. this will even mix that in when it starts to get nice and thick. It still will mix that in. As you can see, it's already nice and thick, so we'll just take our spatula here, scrape it down. And we're going to do lightest to darkest. That way I can just go ahead and keep using the same paddle. It won't matter if we get a little bit of the white into the light pink and a little bit of the light pink into the darker pink. It'll hide. So now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and pour that in this one so that we don't have to move them before we do that. Almost forgot. Y'all are probably already yelling at me going, hey. Let me spray this with a little bit of our 99% alcohol. That'll help with our bubbles. And I will grab a tool and run around the edges too, especially with this having glue in it and being extra thick. I'm just going to try to pour it somewhat slow here and let it kind of find its own way. A little bit hard to pour it slow with that glue in there because it does make it so much thicker. But I measured these earlier today with water and it said 4.5 ounces. So I did mix up 5. So I'm hoping that that's enough. It should be, with potentially a little extra. Couple of floaties in my glitter there. I will get those out here in just a minute. Thankfully they're floating to the top. Okay, that looks like it's domed pretty good. We do have a little bit left, and again, that's fine. We will set that off to the side for another project that I have. I can put that in. Get out my tool here because I see that there. I don't want that in there. Stray blue glitter. All right, now we'll get our next cup. And we'll use a good amount of the light pink. Then we'll just take our same paddle, and it does have a little bit of the glue on it, so it may thicken it up a little bit. Turn that on. Shouldn't affect it too much even with the glue. Check our paddle, make sure I don't have any clumps of glitter on there. A little bit, not bad. Scrape that off. I'll put my 5 drops of glue in. I believe this mixer was only about $10 on Amazon. And I know that they are doing Amazon Prime deals, I believe this week. So you may be able to find it a little bit cheaper even. But if not, $10 I didn't think was too bad for a little hand mixer. I am going to, there it is, find my tool here. I want to run it around this one real quick. I'm just kind of running it back and forth on this edge here, Trying not to introduce more air, but making sure that I've got all the air out along those seams, because anywhere that there is a 90-degree angle, it will try to make bubbles. I've got this one a little full to be doing that, but yeah, so we've got a bubble that came up there already, and another one there. Good, good, good. And I will be running my lighter over this here shortly. We don't have any alcohol ink in here, so we should be really good to hit it with the lighter and not have to worry about it too. So, okay. Now this time I'm just going to pour it around my edges. Then I will stop and run my tool around it, and then we'll fill it up. Just run this down through here. Just trying to make sure that we got all of those bubbles out. Everything's well coated. I'll babysit this tonight too to make sure that I'm hitting it with the lighter if I see any bubbles trying to come up. So like I said, with the glue, it really does trap more bubbles than with regular resin too. So I will just kind of let it flow in there and finish filling up. Dome it just a little bit. I love using the glitter in just a plain clear resin. It makes it just a little bit see-through when we demold, but yet still has all that nice pretty shimmer. And here is our third one. And these paddles clean up really nice too. With them being silicone, they really do wipe up really nice. If you accidentally forget and your resin dries to them, sticks to the metal extension there a little bit, but it comes right off the paddle. I know I've done it once or twice already. Oops. And that's actually good enough. We're going to go ahead and add our 5 drops. Get that mixed up. You can tell when it's mixed up really good too, because you can see it start to dome on the paddle here. So then I just take my little scraper here and try to get as much of it off the top there as I can. Scrape it down. Just kind of get it off of there. Set that over on my mat for a minute there. I'm just making a mess tonight. sure I got this one all the way in the camera, and I apologize for that. Like I said, I'll be working on my camera angle this week to see if I can't get it raised up just a little bit. I think it's down just a little too low. Tool here. I'm just kind of bouncing it back and forth because I have this edge and this one. So I'm not shaking, I promise. I'm just kind of bouncing it back and forth along both edges there, trying to hit them both in kind of a circular motion too, just to kind of help bump those up. If there are any bubbles in there at all, that hopefully it'll bring them to the surface. I don't want to do it so fast that I do introduce air by getting all the way down there. Again, hard not to do with the glue because it all wants to clump up. But all right, now we'll just top it off. I do try to go slow, but sometimes I get in a hurry. I don't know why it's not going anywhere. Alrighty, and then we just have our last one here. I will probably pour these again another day with just some alcohol inks of different colors. And I want to do them in mica with different colors too. I just like to see the different effects of everything on my molds. I love to see how they're the same and different with the different products that you use. Oops, that was a mess. I'm going to go ahead and add my 5 drops. Get that mixed up. And I just want to say while I'm mixing too, you should always scrape your bottom and sides. However, I am hitting it with this mixer, and I can feel that I'm hitting it with this mixer. And if I was mixing resin, for sure I would scrape my bottom and sides. But when I'm just adding glitter and glue, it tends to get through there pretty well without having to actually scrape my cup. So... that over there, and I will get that cleaned as soon as we are done here. I'm going to hit my edges here again. Should be to go here. And I would say with the glue in, if you're going to do your edges, you want to be at least halfway full, maybe even more, to try to keep from exposing that bottom when you're checking for your bubbles. And even then, as you can see there, I did just expose the bottom because I went a little too fast. And I will get that too. I see I just bumped that. Quick, get a... I do not want those to mix. Go. And now I will finish filling this one. All right, now I will take care of my extras here, and we will let these set and cure, and we will demold tomorrow. See you then. Hi everyone, welcome back. So apparently these have cured. My husband has demolded them for me because I just can't. So the molds are here. Looks like we might have a bit of overpour on some of them, so we'll see how bad that is and if we need to clean it up or not. Take care of those molds. All right, let's see what they look like. Let's take them out one at a time. There's one. Oh. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Not too bad. It's like a teeny tiny pinhole there and maybe one there. Those are super easy to fix. Looks like a couple here too. But that's just the nature of glitter. Trap some air, but those should be pretty easy to fix. I think we're going to decorate these up too. I've got some ideas sitting off to the side here. So what's our next one look like? Oh, the white one. Definitely some overpour here that I need to. I will get that cleaned up. Just a quick hit with a nail file. That'll clean that right up. Other than that, it looks pretty good. I don't see any pinholes down through here. So this one actually did really good, except for the overpour. I don't feel anything either. So that's good. And we're going to see if these will fit together too, because some molds don't. Oh, the red one's next. Got a little mark in there. I wonder if that's from the mold. But that'll be hidden once we decorate these up anyway. Got a couple of little pinholes in this one too that look like they need to be repaired, but that's easily done, so we'll get that done. So there's 3 and 4. All right, fourth one's got a little bubble there and there. So they're not pinholes, they're bubbles. I apologize. But only a couple, so that's not bad. Not bad at all. Let's see if they're gonna fit together. Oh yeah. Oop, that one slid right on. And let's see if number 4 does. There we go. Awesome. So now they can be one big tray. We can take them apart and use them one at a time. Kind of looks like a clover now. But yeah, you can take them apart and use them one at a time too. I love that. And I love being able to make all of them at the same time so that it's complete when it's done. So, nice, deep. But let's see what we can do now to fancy these up. Okay. So I have some DTF gnome stickers here. Also have some Christmas mice and some Christmas bears. And I'm thinking that they're not going to fit in the middle because of this piece, but they might, oh yeah, they'll fit at an angle here. So we could do that in all of them. I don't know if these ones will or not, or are they too big? We might be able to trim them down. Well, just for argument's sake, let's go ahead and go with the gnomes. That way we don't have to worry about trimming them down. All right, now we just need to find one that'll go with each one. And I have quite a few here, so got lots to choose from. This one's got some light pinks in it, so maybe this one for in here. Let's see. That one, I do kind of like that one in there. The red one's going to be our hard one, so I think maybe something like that. Give it a bit of a contrast, a little easier to see. And then our white one. I'm trying to stay mostly springy. That one's a book, that one's a cookie, panda bear. This one got a little unicorn. It's kind of whimsical. All right, how about those four? Okay. And these are just the DTF stickers. Get my scissors out here, maybe trim them up just a little bit, make our lives a little easier. I do want to leave at least one corner on for me to be able to grab a hold of. All right. Carefully peel that backing off. And these are our one and done, so I'm just going to eyeball, tackle it a little bit, and get it down in there. Fold that corner so that we can get a hold of it here in a minute. Just really pushing this down on. I want to make sure that it's going to stick before I pull our clear front back off. I'm just going to do that nice and slow, make sure we don't lose any little bits of the flower leaves or any part of the gnome. Perfect. And we will put a small flood coat in the bottom just to seal them in. I just like to make extra sure that they're in there and don't scratch out when people are putting their jewelry in and out or whatever you use it for, just to make sure that they're extra protected. We shouldn't need to, since they're DTF, and should stick just fine. It's just kind of something I like to do just to make sure. Plus, with the red one having that flaw in it, I will be checking my molds to see if that's in my mold. But with that one having that little flaw in it, doing a small flood coat will fill that in. And oh, I cannot get this one apart. Figure out where it's. Let me get my tool here. Get in between those layers there if I can figure out which one's the front. There we go. Okay. Again, I'm going to kind of turn this one this way so it's straight on when I go to put this one in. That one down. Hang on to this corner and kind of, with that one I bent the corner toward myself and creased it a little bit just so it stays stuck to my finger. Just easier than trying to get it back off of here. Use my thumb and just really press down just as much as I can. Make sure I get all of it. And then this one has those little butterflies and flowers, so again, just want to go super slow, make sure everything is sticking. Once you get to the big part of the gnome, usually it goes pretty quick like that. It just kind of releases. I like to be extra careful with these small little bits. I have pulled those back off before. There we go. And I will give these another press down and make sure that everything is stuck down before we do our flood coat. Let's go ahead and do this one. And this one, the sticker is actually going to be partially over that flaw because that flaw is there. So that'll help too. But I also don't like to have flaws in my stuff, so definitely a quick flood coat of some clear will help. Okay. Oh, that one came apart pretty easy. Turn this so that it's straight. Kind of eyeball him in there. Push it down. And then carefully pull this cover sheet back. Really want to make sure, especially when there's fine detail like this, that you hit those little spots to make sure that everything is adhered really well. Trim this one down just a little bit. She shouldn't need too much. It was pretty close already. Okay. Just like to give myself as much space as I can to work with these. Maybe that little corner. Excuse my son in the background. He's listening to cartoons and talking to himself. He's getting ready to fall asleep. So we won't do the flood coat until he does fall asleep for his nap. Okay, and this one we will put here. Get that middle. Really make sure we got that edge. This helps make sure there are no bubbles for when we do the flood coat too. We really don't want bubbles, and I will double check them too. And if there are any, it's not a big deal. You just take your craft knife and cut a small slit, press it back down, press the air bubbles out. Nobody will ever know that it was there. Get that air out. Don't see any. Oops. It doesn't mean that there aren't any there. And like I said, I will do a real close look. That one's looking really good. Like I said, we'll just do an extra press down, make sure everything is there. This one looks really good. I thought that was a bubble for a minute. It's a little tassel off his hat. Okay, check this one. Beautiful. No bubbles. Maybe a little one there. Might be a little bit of a bubble there. Let me see if I can push it out with my thumb. Oh yeah. Right at the very top of his hat there had a little one. Got that pressed out. And this one looks really good too. No bubbles. So I will get the clear coat mixed up. I would say probably, I might do 6 ounces just to make sure. Don't think that they'll take more than an ounce a piece, but that just gives us 2 extra ounces to play with if we need it. So I will get 6 ounces of clear mixed up, and we will come back and do our flood coat, and then we'll let them cure. So we'll be back soon. I'll bring you back as soon as I have the resin mixed up. Okay, we have 6 ounces of clear resin mixed up over here degassing. I used my little Amazon $10 mixer here, which does come with a stand, and both of the attachments fit right in here. There's a small one and then the longer one that we used when we mixed up the glitters for these. I did take my spatula here and scrape the sides and the bottom, even though I do tend to hit it with that too. Just like to make sure got it all mixed up. It's just kind of sitting here degassing a little bit. I'm not going to worry too much about the bubbles because I am going to spray these with alcohol again real quick, and then we will just coat the bottom, and then I will make sure that I pop any bubbles that I see. And the thinner that your resin is, the longer that it takes to cure, which in this instance is good because the longer it takes to cure, the less bubbles we should have. So I am just going to wipe this off. Let's set it over here on my little tool mat. And we're just, I'm going to get this. It's going to take enough to just cover that bottom. We don't want to fill our tray up with clear. And I do always start with the sticker. That way I know that my sticker is covered. Okay. I want to make sure that I have some. That should be plenty. I'm going to do the same with all of them. And then I will take them one at a time and make sure that I get it spread all the way to those sides and the corners. Our main goal here is just to seal the sticker in. We're not trying to build it up or anything like that. I don't even think we're going to use 1 ounce each. Like I said, I did mix up 6, but that's okay. I've got another container or another mold that I can put it in. That's actually waiting to be topped off with a little more, so. Can add some color to this and top that mold off, and then that one will be done too. Okay. There we go. Yeah, we still have 4 ounces left. They each took about ½ ounce. I like to tip it a little bit, kind of see in the light where I'm at. Get it right up to those edges. Definitely go over my sticker very lightly. I'm not doing it hard enough to scratch it or poke it. It's just very, very lightly. Just to kind of release any bubbles. And just to make sure that this is all the way spread out. I'm okay. Make sure it's all spread out. And it's really nice and thin. It doesn't even come all the way to the end of the point on my tool here. It does because I have it sideways, but when I stand it up, it's not even to the point there. And I will spray this with alcohol one more time to pop any of those bubbles that have come up to the top. Tap that one off. That one should be good. And once these are cured, I will fix all of the little micro bubbles that formed when we poured the original mold. There's a bubble. This one has quite a few bubbles in it here that are floating to the top of this. But I will get all of those microscopic bubbles that were made when we actually did our original pour as well. So that will help. And I'm really just making sure, especially along this ridge line here, that I'm hitting it. Because that's where the bubbles like to form and like to get trapped. And then also right along the edges of the sticker, just letting my tool glide across that sticker to loosen anything that could be in those little bits. Just get that up to the surface, and like I said, we'll spray that here in a second. So there's number 3 and our last one. Go around the edge here. And I will babysit this a little bit too. This is going to take quite a few hours to cure, just because this layer is so thin. So this will take quite a while to cure. And I'm not going to turn on my heat mat or anything. I'm just going to let it do it natural. And we will take a look at these tonight. So put that over there and I'll clean it up in a minute. And now I'm just going to spray each one with a pretty generous amount of my 99%. Just to pop any of those bubbles that we brought up. And now we will let these sit. We will let them cure. And we will take a look at them tonight. See you soon. Hello everyone, welcome back. These are now completed. Try to pick them up all four at the same time. I just took my file around these rough edges here smoothed them out so they weren't quite so sharp, and got off all of the, or well, I apparently missed a spot, but most of the extra resin and stuff there. I'll clean that one up just a bit more. I had some extra clear from when I clear coated the bottoms to seal those stickers in, so I just went back in with our ruby red glitter and poured it into my little bird ornament mold here. I UV resined the wings on, so now we just have us a little glitter cardinal. There's a little hole here where I'll put a string, and that way that can be hung on a tree or in a window or whatever. But so we got a little extra today. But that is everything that we did. So I will get these ones all done up. I'll finish cleaning up this one a little bit, and they are ready to go. So I hope you all enjoyed that one. I hope to see y'all on the next one. And if you don't mind, if you could take a minute to like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good day.